Okay, so here's the video I made while I was in Moab, Utah, and I found these drawings on the side of a canyon wall. Now, excuse me, there's 9 minutes worth of video here, and the stuff that I found in this, in the way that I came across it, was incredibly odd, very strange, very coincidental. But the first thing you'll notice is this right here. The large spiral. This is what caught my eye. It instantly reminded me of CERN. It's something that I'm always talking about. It's something that they're always talking about. For instance, CERN's already put out a video today, and they're promising a new video again tomorrow. This is CERN's latest video right here, and it's called 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗍. I-S-O-L-D-E. I sold, like I sold my soul. This is CERN's latest thing. This is something that they said they've been waiting on for 30 years. Researchers have been waiting on this improvement to CERN for the last 30 years, and it's called I-S-O-L-D-E. I sold. So again, and again, CERN feeds into the esoteric nature of things. Think about everything that they have at this place. I sold my soul. Do you see what I'm saying? But I digress. Looking at these cave drawings, these wall carvings, these hieroglyphics, these petroglyphs from ancient times. All right, I'll calm down with the camera. Don't worry about that. I'm just scanning it right now. But you'll notice that there's drawings everywhere. Now, first of all, let's take a look at this little fella right here with the horns, okay? There's plenty of drawings of farmers, people standing there, livestock, wildlife, so forth and so on. And then every once in a while, you'll find a spiral. And right next to the spiral, you'll find a horned being without fail. And the horned beings are easy to tell. These are the regular people. Here they are, husband and wife. I don't know what they are. Little people everywhere. So they know how to draw a regular person. And they'll show somebody holding a shield, a rock. Maybe that's a duck or a rabbit. I don't know. But they definitely know how to draw things. Here's either an antelope, an ibex, a deer. I don't know. It's some sort of an animal. They're pretty good at it. So there's that. Another animal, another duck. More animals. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy to see, right? And then without fail, you'll come across another spiral. And right next to the spiral, every single time, there's a being that's larger than all the rest of the people, and it always has horns on top. And this is what it looks like. These are where the carvings are. These are about 25 feet off the ground. Now, according to the guides that come along, because of course they showed up while I was there and started talking about Native Americans and, the ground used to be higher. Now it's much lower. It makes absolutely no sense, but that's their story. Spiral with a horned figure very close by every time. There's the regular people again, regular people. There's the animals. I already showed you that. There you go, blah, blah, blah. Regular people, and then horned guy. And now every time they show a horned guy, he seems to be standing on top of a serpent. It's kind of hard to see all this, but I'm showing it to you as best as I can. There's another guy wearing a large set of horns, and he's also much larger than the other drawings. These are all side by side. So here we go. I'm pointing my camera straight up. This guy is higher than everyone else. So it appears like the drawing shows him in another version of heaven or another reality, and he's above everyone else, and his drawing is much larger. Again, it looks like an Ouroboros right there. Horned guy. And then down here next to a huge serpent, what appears to be a ladder. and a serpent, and a spiral. Now, this is a whole nother drawing. Bunch of people, somebody holding a bow and arrow, a bunch of people holding hands. You can see them all right there, side by side. And above them, again, is Horn Dude. Yeah, just like that. Now, if you listen to the people, the tour guides that come along, this was all done by ancient Indians, and they even say that they're drawing depictions. The guides said that these people were drawing depictions of their everyday life, of their hunting, and of their gods, lowercase g. They said it straight up. So they do understand that this is showing portals opening up and demonic beings coming out. And in some of these images, you can actually see them. This is just for scope, so you can see how high off the ground these are. This is an enormous picture of a giant with horns, and he's standing over what appears to be a bunch of smaller people down here, and they're sacrificing some sort of an animal to him. You can see that straight up. Again, a large serpent right here, very large serpent, and right next to the serpent, again, is a spiral. So the spiral to me, and here's a picture that I took just so you can see everything as it stood. Here's all the regularly shaped people. There's a spiral right here. Somebody with horns comes out, another serpent, and then a larger person. Notice these people? And notice next to it the giant with enormous horns. This played on throughout. This was the standard throughout the entire place, but this is the best picture I could get of it. Here's all the regular people down here, and then you have various people with large horns, and they're all much physically larger than the people. It's always showing a serpent, and it's always showing a spiral. So it's pretty straightforward what they're showing us. They're just basically showing us modern day pictures of CERN and of demonic figures that they were coming across. And it's funny because when you're out in Moab, not only is it brutally hot out there, but you notice that there's an enormous amount of flies out there. Flies are drawn to death and rotting flesh, so forth and so on. And there's also a lot of black crows everywhere, very, very vocal black crows. Now, the story that they give for this is that it was just Indians fooling around. Well, I'll tell you what. This took a long time to draw. This took a long time to carve into the side of the rocks. Now, these people were keeping a record of what it was that they saw, and they saw it as very important. They don't show pictures of people patting their dogs or playing with their kids or out hunting or anything like this. They're making a record in stone of things that they saw coming through portals. Now, when I was out there, the ground, when you're looking at the Colorado River and all of the plateaus, it looks exactly like where the ground opened up during the Great Flood. That's all I kept seeing. Now, take a look at this picture right here. This guy is enormous, absolutely enormous. And here's the rest of the people. We've seen the same exact thing in Egyptian hieroglyphics. These people purposefully drew what they were seeing. Normal-sized people, giant people. Normal-sized people, giant people. These people didn't have leisure time like you and I do. When they took time to carve things into stone like this right here, that was taking up a good majority of their day. Every place that you go in Moab, they are celebrating these horned entities. They're well aware of it. It's not a mistake. But this is Utah devils. They're into it. This is what they do, whether they understand what they're doing or not. But it's been accepted by everybody. I loved Moab. I love the weather. I love the night skies. But I'll tell you what, in the skies at night, there are a lot of anomalies that you do not see back here in the Northeast whatsoever at all. There's a lot of activity going on up there, and there's probably a reason for it. It's wide open. It's barren. You can go for days without seeing other people. These are the kind of places you'd probably run into spirals, portals being open. Think about Mount Graham, where the Lucifer telescope is. That was an active portal. Ancient Native Americans told us about this all the time, which is why the Vatican took it over and stuck their Lucifer telescope up there. But I thought this was interesting. It was amazing the way I came across this. Again, average people. There's a big picture of the sun and a large 5-fingered, horned having portal coming out of demonic being. There's that. So to me, it's proof. And it's odd the way that I found it. So there's that. Richie from Boston. Like, share, subscribe, or don't. I don't care. I'm out.